for our first business spotlight speaker, please join me in welcoming Mr. Damien Laracy, the head of office of Hill Dickinson, Hong Kong, who is also a HKA board of director all the way from Hong Kong. Damien is going to share with us what they do in Hong Kong as a law firm in related to to the US. Without further delay, may I please invite Damien, please? Good morning, Damien. Are you online?
Yes, I am. And good evening,
Great.
Michelle.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us this early. Have you had your coffee yet?
I've had 2 coffees. It's 7:30 in the morning on April Fool's Day here, so it would be very unwise not to have at least 2 coffees.
Yeah, I can feel that. So the floor is yours. How about tell us something about your company, about yourself, about your industries as well.
Certainly. So first of all, I'd just like to say good evening, everybody, and it's a pleasure to be participating in this event on behalf of myself and Hill Dickinson. Thank you, Michelle and Yanni, for putting this mixer together. As Michelle said, I'm dialing in from Hong Kong, where I manage the Hong Kong office of an English law firm by the name of Hill Dickinson. I'll say a little bit about Hill Dickinson, but before I do that, perhaps I should introduce myself a little as well. So as Michelle said, my name is Damien Laracy. I'm originally from Auckland in New Zealand, where of course they're coming to the end of a long, hot summer, where New Zealand has retained the America's Cup. And that is where I would be now if I wasn't in Hong Kong. I studied law in Auckland and I moved to Hong Kong in 1995. So I've now been here for 26 years. My personal practice on a day-to-day basis involves commercial litigation and arbitration. And I also sit as an arbitrator. In the Hong Kong office, I have colleagues doing insolvency and regulatory work, corporate and M&A work, and at the moment that is including giving advice to listed companies in the US, thinking about repatriating back to Hong Kong, or at least deleveraging investments in the US, unfortunately. We do obviously capital markets and IPO fundraising work in Hong Kong. And we have a vibrant construction practice, which is increasingly engaged in infrastructure and project work concerning the Greater Bay Area. In the office here, we have mainland qualified lawyers, and we also have a Korean qualified lawyer. So I think we can credibly say within Hong Kong, we have one of the more diverse skill sets in terms of people qualified both regionally and globally. So in addition to those individuals, we have lawyers qualified in Australia, New Zealand, New York, and of course in the UK. Turning to the larger Hill Dickinson office outside of Hong Kong, we have offices in the UK, in Europe, and in Singapore. The firm started trading in Liverpool in 1810 and is one of the longest, if not the longest, continuously trading English law firms in existence. We're committed to growing the business globally as a full-service law firm. And so one of the things I'm doing in Hong Kong at the moment is hiring. We're an individual and unique practice in Hong Kong in that sense, because we are one of the few firms that is actually expanding at the moment. A lot of firms are downsizing, but Hill Dickinson only opened up in Hong Kong in 2015. So we have the luxury of perhaps of some fortunate timing in the sense that we're still able to expand rather than looking to pare back headcount. We're also committed to diversity and to a transparent and fair workplace culture. We were one of the first English law firms to appoint a female partner back in 1927. Work I'm currently doing with lawyers or clients in the United States, as I say, involves advice around repositioning assets and deleveraging listings in the US, perhaps back to Hong Kong. We're also engaged heavily with some product liability litigation involving defective personal protective equipment manufactured in China and exported to the States. So that's myself, and that's Hill Dickinson in summary form. Thank you very much, and best wishes for the rest of this event, and of course for Easter. Thank you again, Michelle and Yanni.
Thank you so much, Damien. Thank you for joining us this early.
No problem. And for those of you that are missing Hong Kong, you've got a view of mid-levels behind me there, with Mount Victoria off to my left-hand side behind me.
Yeah, I guess everyone is missing Hong Kong.